Okay, so after a thorough investigation, my van is not haunted. But I wanted to talk about some things that, well, it's been a couple weeks since I posted a video, and it seems like my first video got a lot of views, and then the ones after that didn't get so many, but somebody told me that I guess the way that YouTube's algorithm works is like your first video that you're prone to get more views on it because they try to help you get started or something like that. Anyways, it is New Year's Eve. It's going to be 2025 in about 2 hours. And lately, I've had some ups and downs. We got informed last week that, okay, I've been at the same job now for about 4 or 5 months, and I like it. I usually don't stay, like, I usually work temp jobs when I go places, and usually I'm not at any particular job for more than maybe a month or two. Anyway, I've been at this place for about 4 or 5 months, and not because of the money, because I'm happy there. I like the people that I work for. I get treated well, which is way more important than money to me. We were told that the business is going to be closing on January 17th, so I got about 2 or 3 weeks before I don't have a job anymore. Now, I'm not really worried about that because, I work through, I can get work really easy through these apps that I work with, that I can get temp jobs here and there. And I mean, to be honest, if I really don't need to work that much. I mean, I can really get by on working like 1 day a week because I don't have really any expenses. I spend what I make, basically. If I made $100,000 a day, I would spend $100,000 a day. If I made $5 a day, I can get by on that too. But recently, I quit gambling, which was becoming a big problem. I was doing a lot of online gambling, and no matter if I won or lost, whatever I won, I would continue gambling until I just lost. That was my form of entertainment. I wasn't gambling to make money. I was gambling basically to pass time, and like I said, it was entertainment for me. But I stopped gambling. It's been a couple weeks since I've done anything with that, so money has become a lot easier for me now. I actually have money in my bank account, and which is one of the reasons why I'm not stressing too much about losing my job too. But I do need to put some money together because I need to get some stuff done to the van. A lot of the stuff on the van I do myself, but I don't have a whole lot of tools in the van. Yeah, they take up a lot of space, and I have the basic stuff. I can do, some things, but a lot of things I can't do. Not some things because I don't have tools to do, some things because I don't have the skills to do. So I'm gonna have to hire somebody to look at the van, do a couple of things for me. Somebody asked me in my last video to discuss a time that I got sick in the van. Now I'm just getting over a sickness now. I'm sure you could probably hear it. I had a fever the last couple of days. I'm just kind of starting to feel better now. Now the person who asked me the question in the last video he wanted to know about a time that I was sick that I needed a bathroom. So I'm going to explain an embarrassing story when I was in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And I was in the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino parking garage. And I was really sick. And I had to go to the bathroom really bad, and I probably wasn't going to make it to walk all the way to get to the bathroom in the hotel. It would have taken me 10 minutes or so. So I went into the parking garage at the Hard Rock Hotel has obviously stairs that go down from the bottom floor to the top floor, and I would always stay at like one of the higher floors because there'd be less people there. And I went right into the stairwell, and let's just say it wasn't pretty. Um, it was, I was just praying that nobody came down the steps or up the steps and saw me, because it would have been a really embarrassing situation. It was, I actually had to do that twice. um, because I was just like going through the sickness in my van and I just didn't want to move. But I always keep baby wipes with me, which come in handy in situations like that. It was, God, I didn't even want to. Part of me wanted to sit in the van and wait and see somebody coming up or down the steps and wait to hear a reaction, but I didn't, although that would have been fun. So that's my story about being sick. I really haven't been sick that many times in the van. I don't get sick a lot, I was surprised, that I got sick this week, and nobody else was really sick. But then somebody told me today that there's something going around, and I had the typical, sore throat and fever and cough. I'm coughing stuff up. I'm coughing some nasty shit up. Now, I have to make a decision soon. Like, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, and I've been here for a little while now, and I have to decide soon. Am I going to stay here? And it's not like I've gotten like really close with a whole bunch of people here, but I do have some friends. And actually, I know some people will understand this, but I have my best friend is a dog. He's not my dog, but he's my favorite person in South Carolina. And I go and I see him almost every day. And, he gets excited. And he's the only person that gets excited when they see me. So he's my best friend. And it'd be really hard for me to leave and leave him behind. So I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to stay here or go somewhere else. I wanted to maybe go to Florida or North Carolina. I'm not really sure, but I have time to figure that out. And it's not something I'm going to do right away, but I have to start thinking about that. No. One thing I was going to save this for a different video, but one thing I wanted to it's been in my mind lately is how fucking weird people are. I think it's post-COVID, I would say. Now, it's very difficult to make friends as an adult, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen that. But like lately, it's like everyone is afraid of. Okay, and I think it's the media's fault. Like, people watch the news and they see that somebody got carjacked, and so all of a sudden, every time they're in their car, they think they're going to get carjacked. Like, I think this is the way that the media portrays the situations like that. Like you remember when John Walsh's son got kidnapped and they cut his head off and they found his head in the lake or something like that. And I can remember that, the special coming out on television. Now all of a sudden, everybody thought their kid was going to get kidnapped and their head was going to get cut off. Like, and that changed the way that parents treated their kids at the time. Now, there's 350 million people in this country. I'll be damned if I'm going to change my life because something happened to one person. If I'm going to live my life in fear because somebody got robbed or somebody got shot or somebody got stabbed. I find a lot of times, like, okay, for example, people are terrified to give away their phone number these days. 20 years ago, we got a book that was like this thick that had everybody's phone number in it. You didn't have a choice. Your phone number was in that book. You had to go through some steps to get it taken out of the book, actually. So why is everybody so afraid to give their phone number out to people these days? What am I possibly going to do with your phone number? You could just block my phone number. You could just block my number. Let's say you gave me your phone number and I start harassing you which I'm not going to do. I don't do that kind of things. But like, let's say that I start harassing you with all these crazy messages. You can just block my number, right? I don't understand it. I don't understand why everybody's so afraid of other people. Like my whole thing is like I like meeting people. There's a lot of good people in this world. I like meeting people and God, I've met thousands of people in the past few years. And I think out of those thousands of people, maybe a handful of them were really bad people. But if I meet somebody and I get the feeling that they're really bad, like, but I give them a chance, you know. I don't just like, I'm not just gonna be terrified of somebody right from the start because I don't like the way they look, or I just saw a news story about somebody that got robbed or raped or whatever. I mean, that's sad to go through life like that, just afraid of everyone. No, I work with somebody who's like that, and that like just stays home all the time because they're afraid. They're afraid of people. You know, it's not that bad out here, out where you have to be afraid of everyone. Like, there's a lot of good people in this world. You're never going to know any of them if you you know, if you're afraid of meeting people, or you're I don't know. I just want to know if anybody else feels that way. I know it's not just me. So my last video was like 20 some minutes. I don't even know how it got that long, but I try to think of things to talk about, you know, about living in the van and everything, but I run out of things to say sometimes, so I gotta think of some topics. So if anybody has any questions or anything like the last guy did, just leave them in the comments. Happy New Year.